afternoon from Baku City Circuit. It is time to continue the LX7 Fantasy Series in 2026. We have journeyed our way to Azerbaijan for round 3 of the season, and what a race we have in prospect. 51 laps coming your way around a 6-kilometer circuit, 3.73 miles and 27 meters of elevation change. Our previous winner around this circuit in the Fantasy Series was in 2023. That was Charles Leclerc, but who will emerge victorious in 2026? C5, C4 and the C3 compound of Tyre, that's the softest in the Pirelli range. As we now get ready to run you through our grid for the 3rd race of the season, and it begins at the back with the driver of Lance Stroll, who's in 22nd, and Gabriel Bortoletto starts in 21st. Nico Hülkenberg is 20th. Sergio Perez has had some good performances in qualifying in the first 2 rounds. That doesn't apply to round 3. He starts 19th, just behind his teammate Valtteri Bottas. And then it's Fernando Alonso starting in 17th, the first time Bottas has out-qualified his teammate so far this season. Arvid Lindblad is 16th next to Alex Albon, who starts in 15th for Williams. We then make our way to Ollie Behrman and Liam Lawson. Lawson, a driver who's had a few crazy races in Formula 2 around the circuit in the past. Carlos Sainz is in 12th next to Esteban Ocon in 11th for Haas. And then it is Gasly in 10th, and Franco Colapinto starts in 9th on an all-Alpine row off the grid. Then it's Max Verstappen in 8th next to Oscar Piastri in 7th. And then we will see Lewis Hamilton in P6 for Ferrari. One of our race winners so far this season, Hadjar, going from 5th. Kimi Antonelli in 4th, George Russell in 3rd. The teammates looking to try and have a good race and attack the pair of Charles Leclerc, who will be behind Lando Norris when they leave the line for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Listen to the revs as they rise. Lights out for the street fight in Baku, and it's a perfect launch for Lando Norris, defending up against Leclerc, who goes bold into turn number 1. That's incredible as they make the way through. Spin. Lewis Hamilton is off in the background, and we've got a Baku City Circuit pile-up in the background. The red flag is out. Everyone having to come to a stationary due to the static car of Hamilton, who surely had major contact at turn 1. What goes on? Listen to the revs. Perfect launch. Incredible launch. That's all the words we'll be able to say about what happens at turn 1, because surely it's going to be... contact. 3 into 1 didn't go. So, I think that's Hadjar. The car that's on the outside line. Let's jump on board with the Mercedes now. This is Kimi Antonelli. He's not going to get a good launch, and that will put him under pressure. Eventually Hadjar comes there. There's Hamilton. Antonelli pins to the wall, clatters into the side of Hamilton, who then has Hadjar on the outside as well. Okay, let's review Verstappen's start. Okay start. Some had better ones, some had worse, but it's what happened at turn 1, and luckily his part was clear. He had to get on the brakes momentarily, but other than that he could drive on by, unlike some others. So Norris gets the start to cut across Leclerc. Watch this, we didn't get time to speak about this heavily on the opening lap because of what happened behind, but this was unbelievable bravery to try and have a go around the outside. Their second start in Baku is about to begin. We're underway, lights out, perfect start, Charles Leclerc. There's not going to be any need of bravery around the outside because he's got the lead by turn number 1, and it's Leclerc ahead of Lando Norris, and then we fight our way by in the background. It's Lewis Hamilton, I think, wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen, and Hamilton's going to have that position as we now make our way towards turn 3 on lap 3, and it's the first lap after the red flag restart, and it's Charles Leclerc who's going to look to try and bring this one home for Ferrari. What type of launches of Hamilton? Good compared to his rivals. And then, okay, so Verstappen was trying to go in the middle of the cars ahead. Eventually he has to back out of it because there is no gap in that middle. and it leaves him vulnerable to Hamilton, who ends up going to the inside. Verstappen tries to brave it, can't really do anything at turn 2, and Hamilton gets by. So we make our way through. Now we're going to have overtake mode enabled for these two drivers, but it's Hadjar, the one who's going to be attacking Leclerc. Through the sweepers, and it's Hamilton lining up his fellow Brit, and it's going to be moving alongside for Hamilton, and the driver with the fastest lap of this Grand Prix goes on through. And now we've got an opportunity for Hamilton, but I think they've both got an opportunity on Charles Leclerc. Hadjar drawing alongside, going to the inside and taking the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, trying to get another victory this season, and he's P1 at the moment as it stands. As he slides and twitches, you can hear as he tries to apply the power. The struggle that he was having, battling now down towards the braking zone. It's going to be 3 wide. Leclerc trying to go around the outside. Hamilton making the wise decision to back out of it. And it's going to be Leclerc still side by side with Hadjar through the 90-degree corners. This is usually single file, but not if it's the LX7 Fantasy Series. These drivers are finding ways to have a battle, to make it a fight. And this is absolutely single file stuff as they make their way through. Hadjar, how has he avoided the wall? Charles Leclerc retakes the lead of this Grand Prix, but I cannot believe that Hadjar is still in this race and not in the wall. That is unbelievable. I remember something like this happening to Liam Lawson a few years ago in Formula 2, but he did find the wall. Hadjar didn't. Inside line, sparks coming out of the cars with how close they're getting together. Brilliant racing. Ferrari versus Red Bull, the two rivals reunited at the front, and it's Charles Leclerc who has P1. Max Verstappen has been doing the watching with the rest of us, but now he's ready to attack. Now he's ready to charge and to get involved in our battle for the win. It is the position. Lewis Hamilton very nearly 3 wide. Verstappen gets past. Hadjar now has to look over to the side. He sees Lewis Hamilton for now alongside, but ahead now because Hamilton is through, and Hadjar is going to need to try and fight back. Great battling in this battle for third, but it's not done yet. It is not done yet. Inside line for Hadjar, but sweeping around the outside to maintain the place is Lewis Hamilton. We are getting some racing here at Baku today as Hamilton slides. So the field now heading into turn number 2. The yellow flags are flying. Oh! Contact between the Hasses. They've broken the golden rule, and that is to not collide with your teammate. And something has happened to the Haas pair. They've both got going. We have the safety car. We'll need it because there's a lot of debris that the marshals will need to clear. We'll need to get them on circuit to do so, and we're going to have to neutralise the race as a result. So, is it contact between them or... Well, so far we've not got Behrman in our shot. Ah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, sorry. I'm really sorry, guys.
Okay, so Ocon loses it on his own. Behrman's a passenger. We've had this moment in Formula 2 before. If one driver loses it, lots can join him. Luckily for us, it was only one driver and not others, as it can be a dangerous sight with oncoming traffic. Into the first turn as they make their way through, and it's Liam Lawson there running in second place, and he's going to look to try and have a bit of an attack further up the road, the race lead, but at the same time he's going to be coming under pressure as well. And is anyone going to make some moves? It's Hamilton once again, past one driver, past two drivers. Ferrari 1-2 at the front. It's Leclerc leading Hamilton, who makes a double overtake at turn 3. That's incredible. ahead of Liam Lawson as it stands at the moment. And we go through the middle sector, and Hamilton are looking to try and apply some pressure. This could be a Ferrari versus Ferrari fight for the win, which would be absolutely incredible. And what a battle we have coming our way, as Hamilton's going to look to try and get his foot flat to the floor and try his best to have a little bit of an attack. This is going to be really, really fascinating to watch and see how it is going to play out. Look how close he's getting. So this could absolutely be an attack on the straight. Hitting the wall in the background. Out. Liam Lawson finds the barrier. And the safety car is deployed once again. And the drama continues here at Baku. What goes on? We were focused on a possible fight happening at the front. Oh, he loses it. Ego on the throttle. Round he goes. Over the line, Hamilton, Lindblad, Stroll, your top three. And they're all through turn number 1 so far. And it's Lindblad who is very much not running at the optimum pace of, well, what the other drivers will think at the moment, because Hamilton's breaking away. And as we head down towards turn 3, no movements being made as of yet. So it's Hamilton, Lindblad, Stroll your top 3, Leclerc's in 4th, Verstappen's in 5th at the moment. You've really got to try and make sure you keep your head cool in this race, because so far there's been lots of contact and Baku is delivering Baku things. There's going to be plenty of chances to capitalise on things going wrong and things happening, so you've got to be very careful. As in the wall, just as we say that, Arvid Lindblad becomes the second Racing Bulls driver to have an issue, and he momentarily stops, but he continues. He only came to a halt for a second, but everyone else as a result had to stop. It caused the Constantino effect, and as a result we've got the red flag. So watch this. Loses it in the wall, stops for a second, sees that the car's working, correctly so gets going, but everyone else had to brake as a result, and it surely caused a lot of damage further back. The third start in Baku is underway. We're racing down to turn number 1. Perfect reaction time. Arvid Lindblad, who takes the lead at the front. What a moment for the rookie driver in his first season of the Fantasy Series. Hamilton's fading down. He's fading down the order. He's not had the opening lap that he was hoping for. And the driver who basically kind of caused the red flag with his hit in the wall and the effect it had on the rest of the field now leads the Grand Prix. But here's Hamilton struggling. Okay, let's go to an unbelievable launch. Arvid Lindblad, P1. Much better drive. And leading the way into the first turn. Leaving everyone fighting in behind for second. Hamilton dropped one place, then another, then another. Listen in. Not great, the entire build phase. He hit the wally. Goodness me. Even just had a little tap with the wall and then broke so early on the outside chip, I guess, to make sure that he gives his teammates some room. That was already through. Here comes Charles Leclerc, their former teammates wheel to wheel. Leclerc trying to go around the outside, Sainz with the inside line. Neither want to give an inch. Are you ready for another battle in the middle sector? Well, apologies, we're not going to get one because Charles Leclerc sweeps through and moves into the lead. Sainz would have hoped that he could have fought it longer. Charles Leclerc on the outside. He's going to break wide now. Opening up the corner and perfectly taking it. Meaning there wasn't a fight. He carried a lot of speed in. Hamilton versus Leclerc. The Ferraris are about to battle. We head to the pit wall on our way towards turn 1. Hamilton gets the inside line and Lewis Hamilton is reinstated P1 after a few laps of having to sit in behind after the poor restart that he had. Now he's in P1 with side by side further back. Verstappen is wheel to wheel with Sainz. but it's Hamilton at the front. On board, gain, alongside Antonelli, moving past and moving through, and he'll have the place by turn number 1. Let's take a look at a replay of Arvid Lindblad, the only remaining racing bulls in this race. Big slipstream, surely a bit of boost used, bit of overtake maybe as well, getting through as a result. We've got a sunset here now at Baku, and we've got side by side Gasly past Lindblad, and that's a position exchange as we make our way through. Yellow flag. What's happened on the circuit? And the safety car's deployed. Well, we don't know why yet. There we go, in the wall. The Williams car, Albon, out of the Grand Prix. Oh my word. Misses his corner completely and doesn't bail. Look at how tight this is into the first turn. Hamilton is ahead of Verstappen. It's Charles Leclerc with the lead. Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Antonelli and Hülkenberg, your top 5. They were fighting further back as well. But these are now critical moments of this race. And now, this was the moment earlier, some of the battling as the Audi got through on the inside line. We are making our way through the last consequential corners of this circuit, and Hamilton's close! He's sliding! Here comes Lewis Hamilton for the chance! Down towards the line! Leclerc versus Hamilton with the sun beaming down on the circuit! It's basically banging wheels! Hamilton or Leclerc! It's Hamilton! He wins at Baku! What a finish over the line!
Great job, guys.
Good job,
Yes.
David. Well managed.
Good job, mate.
Congrats.
Good on, mate.
Photo finish! It does not get better than that! They were pushing hard. It became level at this point. They touched at such massive speed. 8th gear. And they momentarily had contact. But by the line, Lewis Hamilton has won. He won. And he's gonna be delighted with that one. An extraordinary finish to a motor race. That one will be one of the moments we remember in LX7 Fantasy Series history. Lewis Hamilton wins, Charles Leclerc second, and Max Verstappen takes third. The rest of the order sees Hülkenberg, Antonelli, Lindblad, Gasly, Alonso, Russell and Oscar Piastri. That's how they finish. First to 10th. Fastest lap, by the way, went the way of Lewis Hamilton. And he secured that much more earlier on in the Grand Prix. Then we have Perez, Sainz, Norris, Ocon, Behrman, Bottas, Stroll, Colapinto, Bortoletto, and Hadjar finished down in 20th. That'll be a disappointment for him, considering the pace level study shown. But it was a race where I think a lot of our leading contenders had moments, and it was major moments for Alexander Albon and Liam Lawson, who were 2 drivers who caused safety cars today. Trophy lifted. Ferrari 1-2. Drivers' Championship standings following our latest installment of the Fantasy Series. 53 points for Charles Leclerc, 43 for Max Verstappen. The gap is 10 points. Are we in for a repeat of 2025? The championship went down all the way, quite literally, to the line. We've had a race today. That went all the way to the line. Who knows? Who knows? We'll only be able to tell you when we circulate our way to the end of our campaign. But for now, we get to enjoy each race and see which journey the fantasy series takes us on. So far, it's been enthralling, it's been exciting, it's been crazily wild, and you're left after every race just not knowing what to say. Here's how the standings look in terms of the teams. 1-2 for Ferrari gives them P1 in the Constructors' Championship, and Red Bull and McLaren are second and third. Realistically, so far, it looks like it's Ferrari versus Red Bull because all of the other teams are so close to one another.